actually gotten pretty far. Built my flying space station here.
More of a flying platform.
Well, yes, it's a flying platform. I just recently figured out how to build walls, so I haven't actually built any yet. Oh, I can see difference right away. The lighting is different. Well, my platform used to be lit. This is a new version. They just updated the version from 2.13. It's like the shadows are now cast on my platform, whereas before it was well lit. Oops, I'm out of oxygen. Need to replenish.
Okay, sorry about that.
Shadows were available or were implemented before, because I noticed when a large piece of debris flies over you, it actually casts a shadow on you and up on the platform, but at least devices themselves didn't cast a shadow before. Now they do. Well, now we're gonna observe how these trash capturers actually capture trash.
Hopefully.
See these rotating thingies?
Yeah.
They
Hopefully
capture
they
trash.
hopefully they'll make it look cooler than it did before.
I don't think so. I mean, it's a limitation of this particular.
Instead of just like shrinking into it.
Oh, this kind of interaction is typical for games, even advanced games and unadvanced engines. Ooh, there's nothing here. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff getting sucked in.
No, I think it was going to the one behind it, maybe.
You gotta collect. See these boxes underneath the compact collectors? You gotta press E to collect the stuff that they captured. Because if you don't, the box gets full and devices get overshot. Go back up.
Did you collect what's in there?
Yes, I did. But
sure? Yeah. Okay.
the problem is that if it collected multiple items, it positions things in your inventory, which is only 5. You have 5 slots in your inventory. It positions each item in its own spot, and if you collected 5 different items and then you try to collect more items, the ones that of the same type are gonna stack, but the ones that are different are gonna get ejected as if you threw them away. So you have to either reorganize your inventory, like I, for instance, here have a backpack, so I move plastic and oxygen into my backpack automatically, and I empty my food into box. I have separate box for food and important items, like tools, construction tools, and building materials go into this box number 1. The number 2 is empty. I think it's empty. I created it for overflow, but so far I haven't run out of space, so I'm gonna collect stuff in this one. Oh, this one's empty. Okay, I'll just grab these things that are flying around anyways. You don't actually have to wait for them to get sucked in. Oh, you just saw that, right?
Yeah.
The stuff got ejected because I tried to grab. Thankfully, the trash grabber grabbed my ejected stuff, so that's not as big of a deal. But if your trash grabber is full and you eject stuff, then it can get hit by a trash grabber. If it's full, it's not gonna suck it in. It's gonna just hit it, or it can hit against it. And actually, you know what? Scratch that. When trash grabber is full, it stops rotating. So it's not gonna hit it by it. But it did happen to me after things got ejected. They flew away at high rate of speed away from me, and then I had to chase them down and capture them. Which, you know, if you're running out of oxygen and you're relying on grab a oxygen bottle that just got collected, so that can be frustrating. But when you first start playing this game, it's much more important to figure out how to move in 3 dimensions, because even though we play 3D games, majority of movements we have to do are still in 2 dimensions, forward, backward, in a single plane, which is completely different in a space game where you actually truly flying in 3 dimensions, and something gets used to it. I mean, if you've never done this before, if you never played space games, and this is quite a challenge. It took me just couple of days, at least couple of days, to just figure out, get comfortable with flying. Oh. So, yep, that's a challenge you have to. I'm just refilling my generator with plastic waste. Generator runs on plastic waste.
That's weird. If it's waste.
Well, it's not waste. It's useful stuff. So the way I set up my system, my generator that's right here powers 2 batteries. The thing is, you can connect only 3 devices, I think, to a generator. So, and if you have to run more than 3 devices, I mean, that's how I found the easy way to do it. For instance, I connected this battery to the generator, and this generator is in turn can be connected to the 3D printer, oxygen producer, and then I connected it to another battery, and this battery is then connected to 2 trash grabbers. That's how I first multiply or extend number of connections I am able to run off of.
You know, when something gets sucked into the trash grabber, instead of it shrinking away out of existence, it should like fade away, like it's getting dematerialized.
But it's not getting dematerialized.
That would be cool.
You pulling it out still as the object that it was when it got sucked in.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Got a bunch of stuff. Can eat a little bit of food.
You don't need to be in your recording, just let
That's
me know.
okay. No, you can be in my recording. Oops. And I gotta transfer oxygen here. Oh, I forgot to mention, the second advantage of having battery instead of powering things directly from a generator. Generator on its own can run many devices, and if you're running just a single trash grabber from a generator, the power otherwise gets wasted. So this way it charges, excess power charges these batteries, and then once generator runs out of power, your devices do not stop running. Like when you will see this generator is going to run out of fuel, and the red light right here is going to turn off. Means the generator stopped working. Yeah, see, they stopped working, but my batteries almost fully charged, and my trash grabbers are still running. And for me, I can load the generator up and go about my business.
Speaking of your business, what have you been doing?
And not worry about standing here and keep feeding generator. I can actually go explore destroyed ships, search for black boxes, search for key cards to unlock mission details. So that way I can every few minutes I can fill the generator and do something or focus on something else, let's say in building. Or emptying trash grabbers. And these trash grabbers are awesome. Before I had to fly to pick up every little thing, and while it was great for practice of learning to navigate in 3D space, whoops, nope, go back down, I was wasting a lot of time just trying to catch oxygen and food instead of collecting supplies to expand my platform. Yeah, basically more than half of my time was, especially in the beginning, pretty much 90% of my time was chasing oxygen and food. And when you're barely able to fly in 3 dimensions, and food packets are being very light, fly very quickly and in a very high orbit. The faster something flies, the higher the orbit of it going to be. So big heavy things, they just kind of hover at the same, because flying at the same speed as you, but the smaller the object, the faster it flies, the higher the orbit is. So I was going on these crazy chases for a single packet of food, or basically it was a lot of dying from starvation. If I focus on catching oxygen bottles, then I sometimes forget about food because they're much harder to chase down than an oxygen bottle. But thankfully to these trash grabbers, as you can see, I got plenty of
Well, did the trash grabbers grab everything, or are there certain things the trash grabbers can grab?
Trash grabbers grab everything but the large debris, i.e. trash grabbers are not going to grab big chunks of ship debris. You actually have to, if you have to collect large amount of
For the walls and floors on your ship, do you have to collect them?
Yeah, you have to collect them. If you have to collect large amount of debris,
I thought you could just like build them.
well, you have to collect debris before you can build anything. And it's multiple items. For instance, to build walls and to build platform segments and walls and ceilings and doors, and you first have to make a, what is this called thing? Blueprint tool, which allows you to just plan and build objects that are part of your spaceship, space platform, station, however you want to call it. But to build that tool, you initially have to catch every single item you need for it. You gotta find it and then grab it by flying around, which isn't easy. I tell you, not easy at all. Especially catching small things that are hard to even recognize, as a lot of these things fly excessively fast, and not knowing what they look like for instance wires, in the recipe icon they displayed as a round coil of wire, like a loop, and those loops actually quite small and fly quite fast, and you have extremely hard time even noticing them, not to mention capturing them. But also wires come in long sections, like the one flying by down there. See that? That is also wire, but at first you don't realize it until you try grabbing it and like, oh, that's wire. See, when it's flying around, it's a long straight length of wire, but once you capture it, oh, where am I? Oh, there he is. Once you capture it, it becomes a circular coil. So that took me a while to figure out. Oops, I hit my head. Yeah, you can get injured by flying debris or by just flying into things, which I just took a 24% damage for just simply hitting the platform flying too fast. So you gotta pay attention to that too.
Did debris hurt you?
Yes, if you got hit by a very large piece of debris, it will kill you. Oh, and I'm running out of oxygen and food again. Thank you for food. Just offload some of my. Oh, go back down. Yeah, maybe this would be easier to play with joystick, but don't have one, so playing this way. Yes, and oxygen alarm starts going off when your oxygen falls below 25%. Gotta go feed the beast.
What's the beast?
Power generator. Because that's what runs my equipment. Okay. There are a couple of recipes, a couple of things that I researched recipes for, but I haven't built because I wasn't sure in the immediate need of it. Like for instance, a recipe for the lamp. Maybe I'll need it at some point. Oh yeah, I guess if I built the ship that is completely enclosed, it would be dark inside, so the lamp would be handy. So at the moment that my platform is open, I don't really need the lamp. There's also this destroyed ship locator. Initially I didn't build it because processors and metal parts required 3D printer and other stuff, which was...
Can you get a 3D printer?
Yeah, I already got 3D printer, but...
How do you do that?
Well, you build it. You research it first, and then you collect certain instruments, and then you build it. Not instruments, in components, and then you build it. But some of the components need different components to build out of, so it's kind of a daisy chain of thing. So it took me a while to build it. Not so much to build it.
And all of this
Recycle materials into the components that the 3D printer then uses to build the part that you need. Like for instance, I had to collect a bunch of... In order to print plastic parts, I needed to build 3D printer. In order to build 3D printer, well, even if I already had it built, I need for 3D printer a filament, either metal filament, like a wire, or a plastic filament. In order to get the filament, you have to build a recycler, and then you can recycle plastic scrap or metal scrap into the filament. So you build a recycler, but in order to run a recycler, you have to build energy generator. So you build energy generator. So it was kind of a thing. And metal recycles pretty slowly compared to plastic. So I have to manually catch the plastic jugs in order to keep feeding generator. Yeah, it was tedious, to say the least. But once you do it, obviously, all the advantage of this outweighs all the negative. Now my job is pretty much all I do is collect the content from trash grabber boxes. And with 4 trash grabbers running simultaneously is actually surprising amount of time you need to devote to just emptying them. Like I said, I barely get off the platform now because I'm spending most of the time emptying my trash grabbers. Yeah, I have to save the game. I actually have enough material and components to build 4 walls and windows and all that stuff, but I just don't know whether I need to or how it's gonna benefit me.
How long do you plan to be recording?
Is there a vulnerability for all your things to be exposed like that?
Not really. So far,
In real life?
I don't get. In real life,
would it
yes.
be?
Until I'm done.
Okay, alright.
In real life, flying debris in orbit is a huge danger, especially in a crowded
Area
debris
that-
field like in this game. Some of the debris flying very fast. It would be destroying everything. As a matter of fact, even if you build walls, you can't really protect yourself from that debris.
Uh-huh.
Because they're flying faster than bullets, sometimes 10 times faster than bullets. You need really thick walls to protect yourself. But, this game, the premise of this game, if they followed realism to 100%,
And it would be.
the game wouldn't be playable.
Yep.
Because you'd be getting killed by debris and your stuff would have been getting destroyed by debris like every second.
And there could be an issue with your suit.
Yep.
It wouldn't last indefinitely.
Nope. Well, at least it goes back into the. useful garbage just recently. The only wish I have for this game is if they made a meg boots. So when you are on a platform, your boots would actually engage and stick through magnetism to the metal of the platform, where you can just walk as normal. That would be a giant quality of life improvement. Oh. Gotta get me some oxygen. Feels like it's running out faster than before. I feel like in the previous build, we had the oxygen wasn't running out quite as fast. I might have made an adjustment. Who knows? I need to read release notes. Yeah, I need to go and write a suggestion about maglev boots. I'm probably gonna cut this off here and start the upload. And if any of you guys see it, you let me know if you like this. And if you do, I will make more remains. I can start from the beginning, from very zero, create new world, and start from with bare nothing to show you how the game mechanics work and how you collect stuff and build stuff. And for now, I am checking out, and I'll talk to you later.